We're continuing on our series this morning, part 2, in experiencing and managing change. It's easy to handle change when you initiate it, but when you're a victim of change, sometimes it's difficult. Those of you that are in business, you need to recognize the world is rapidly changing, and you could be disappointed and left behind unless you change your attitude to it. So we need to experience it, and we need to manage it correctly. So 6 benefits to change this morning. Number 1, change brings personal growth. If you want to grow as a person, you have to be open to change. You have to mature. Mature people can handle change. Immature people are rigid. Number 2, the second benefit is it causes us to look at everything afresh. When change comes, you have to reevaluate life, business, family, church. And it's good for us to reevaluate everything on a regular basis and to look at it in a fresh light, not through the same paradigm. Because everything in life is about perceptions. How you see something determines your life. Number 3, it breaks bad patterns. Change comes, and when it comes, it disrupts us, but it often breaks bad patterns in our lives. It breaks stagnancy. It breaks wrong attitudes sometimes. You recognize, hey, I've had a bad attitude about this. When South Africa changed, it broke bad patterns, didn't it? It brought about a new democracy. Bad patterns that were entrenched were changed, and we move forward. We're not where we need to be, but we're on the road. And so it's a good thing. It helps us see our blind spots and enables us to change. Number 4, it releases our potential. When you change or you're forced to change, you discover that you could do things you didn't know you could do. You go places you never knew you could go. Number 5, it makes us more flexible. When you get used to change and you learn how to manage it and experience it properly, you become very flexible in your life. You learn how to adapt. Many people are not adaptable and flexible. They're very rigid. They're rigid about the clothes they wear, rigid about the car they drive, and the things they do, and the food they eat, and they can't break patterns. You've got to become flexible. And lastly, number 6, it brings progress and increase in our lives. You will never progress or increase unless you change. If you try and hold on to your life, you limit progress and you limit enlargement. I want you to write this down because this is important this morning, church. Comfort creates tradition, but discomfort creates transformation. That's why we have to be prepared to be uncomfortable. And I want us to look at 4 things this morning that we receive from this text. When experiencing and managing change, these are 4 things we need to remember. Number 1, we shouldn't immediately criticize it. When you experience change, don't criticize it. Number 2, the second way we manage and handle change is it shouldn't bring our negative prejudices to the fore. When change takes place, you'll find that you're critical and then your negative prejudices get brought out. Change always comes to test you, to see whether you are sexist or racist or progressive or open to move forward. Isn't that true? The third way to experience and manage change is to explain change to others step by step. Don't get angry when other people can't change. Remember how you struggled with change in your own life. Number 4, the fourth thing we need to do in experiencing and managing change is always easier when we have a vision. You need to lean into God so He can give you vision. Peter saw a vision no one else saw. He heard a voice no one else heard. Cornelius saw a vision of an angel and he heard a voice. When you have vision, change is easy. Because you know what, church, I've discovered this. You can be in a place or a situation physically, but if you're not emotionally there yet, it's hard and painful. You can be in a marriage. I wanted to get married. But on the inside, you're like, oh, terrible. Why did I agree? You can move to another city. You're there physically. Oh, why did we? You see, what we've got to do, and I want you to write this down. This is important. We need time to inhabit emotionally what we inhabit physically. Many of us are in a place physically, but we haven't processed the change emotionally. People are living in South Africa, but emotionally, they haven't processed it yet. And the only way you can is by having God give you vision and revelation, because then you'll start to inhabit it emotionally, not just inhabit it physically.